Welcome to the HarshBros show. I am your younger Harsh brother Noah. With me today, I have the older Harsh brother Cam. I have the Nightmare Nate.
What's up?
Super Saiyan Swami Eric. Welcome to the show. So today
Wrestling.
Wrestling. Way to break the tension. All right. So we're following up from our last week's podcast. If you didn't watch that, go ahead and give that a listen. We're following the first night of both American Bash and Fyter Fest. We gave a little bit of our predictions, and now we're going to tally up the points. Also, we'll be giving our predictions for Night 2 of American Bash and Fyter Fest. And then stick around for the main topic, which is ridiculous, just plain stupid stipulation and gimmick matches throughout wrestling history. So, we're going to start off really fast here. We're going to go right through the Night 1 results. So, we'll go quickly through American Bash and Fyter Fest. So, Oni Lorcan versus Timothy Thatcher. Timothy Thatcher got the win. And that means a point goes to Noah, Cam, and Nate.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Starting off strong.
All right. And then we had Aliyah with Robert Stone versus Rhea Ripley, and if Rhea lost, she had to join the Robert Stone brand. That's another ridiculous stipulation, but we'll talk about that later. Rhea Ripley got the win, and that means a point for Noah, Cam, and Eric. Woohoo!
Did I pick against Rhea?
You did.
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah, you picked. I think
I
Aliyah.
I was just like, yeah. I didn't think she would win, but I picked him to win.
All right. Then we had Sasha Banks versus Io Shirai in a non-title match. Io got the win, so we give the points to Noah, Cam, and Eric again.
Not a strong showing.
Then we had Roderick Strong versus Dexter Lumis in a strap match. Dexter Lumis, I believe, got the victory on that. And that means a point for Noah, Eric, and Nate.
Why?
Cam
Why
lost that
Lumis?
streak.
Why?
And then we had the Fatal 4-Way, in which Tegan Knox won, and only Nate
Yeah.
got that.
Go
So-
Tegan Knox.
And Dakota Kai did not win, so we do not all have to compliment Dakota Kai. So that is good. Oh yeah, that by the way, that is the stipulation. That is the prize that we all are scratching for. That we are all hungry to get. We are striving for those compliments because our serotonin in our brains is depleted. So. Fyter Fest. Move on to Fyter Fest. So this is a total from both shows. First match we had MJF and Wardlow versus Jurassic Express. Jurassic Express got the win, which gives a point to Noah, Cam, and Eric.
I think Noah deserves an extra point for predicting that
The exact
Luchasaurus
finish.
gets the pin over Wardlow.
I don't know. You will know this right now that I do not need the extra point. So.
Confident much.
Okay, so then we go to Private Party versus Santana and Ortiz. Private Party got the win. That means only I get a point. Everyone else picked Santana and Ortiz. Then we had Hikaru Shida versus Penelope Ford. Hikaru Shida retained, giving the point to Noah, Eric, and Nate.
That match was amazing, by the way.
That was good. It was good.
Very good match.
Then we had Kenny Omega and Hangman Page versus Best Friends for the AEW Tag Team Championships. I think only Cam gets a point here. We all picked Best Friends except for Cam.
Thank you.
Should have been best friends.
Should have been Best Friends, I think, yeah. But if they're setting up this angle between like the Elite and FTR and Page, I think that would be cool. So if that's what comes of it, then yeah. I'm glad.
I think we're leading that way as well.
And then we had Cody versus Jake Hager for the TNT Championship. We all guessed Cody, and we all got a point there.
I was not going to compliment Jake Hager on anything.
No, thank goodness. Yeah, if Jake won, we had to compliment him. So thank goodness we did not have to do that. All right, so tied for third place is Eric and Nate for 5 points. Damn. Cam had 6 for second place, and first place for night 1 is me with 8 points. All right, fellas, you're gonna have to predict really good, and in these next 2 shows. All right, so that was a quick.
I haven't even seen the full card for night 2 of the Great American Bash.
No, I just got it up now. Yeah, it seems a little rushed together. Everything else kind of really doesn't matter except for the main event, I think.
Which may have been spoiled on Instagram.
May have. We think.
Do we all know the outcome? Does that factor in the points though?
Well,
it was being.
Go on.
It was being said that WWE might have recorded 2 endings to avoid what happened, which was one of their talent posted a picture of Keith Lee winning both titles on his Instagram story, but that might just be a swerve because there might be 2 endings to the match.
Were you saying Isaiah Swerve Scott posted the story on his Instagram?
I mean, if you want to say names like a snitch, then yeah.
If I see that he gets released from whatever contract he's in, I'm blaming you, specifically you.
Good. He can go back and be good at what he's doing.
Is there only 3 matches for the second night?
No, there's 5?
Okay, I'm on a bad side.
Okay,
because there's only 3 listed here.
First off, we have I don't know if it's going to kick off the show, but we're just going to go in whatever order that the site that I was pulling this off of was from. So we have Santos Escobar, Raul Mendoza, and Joaquin Wilde versus Drake Maverick and Breezango, Tyler Breeze and Fandango.
Wait, DJ Z is with... I didn't know he was with those guys. Yep. Interesting. Huh.
I forget, their actual, their team name.
It's like Phantasmas because apparently you can't use El Hell Day Live Phantasma anymore because, stuff and allegations and reasons.
Yeah, they said, this ringsidenews.com is saying that their team is El Legado del Fantasma.
Well, dude.
So, we'll see. That it's not important. So, who do we got here? This one's hard because I really don't care if that's fair. I don't know. I'm gonna say Phantasma team. That's
I think
mine. Oh, am I on caps lock? What the hell?
I think they're building them up as I don't know what they're building them up as because it's it's centered around the cruiserweight title, which we all know WWE has no caring or at all for. So they're they'll probably win, and then next week on NXT, Drake Maverick and Breezango will fight them again and then win that match. So yeah, El Legado del Fantasma for the win.
All right, so
I think they're probably gonna win, but I'm gonna go for Drake Maverick and Breezango.
Oh, thank God! We don't have to give them a compliment.
I have no issue complimenting Drake Maverick.
No, he's talking about Eric.
Oh, I thought we were gonna compliment we have to compliment Eric? I can do that as well.
No. All right. Next match, we got Damian Priest versus Cameron Grimes.
Damian Priest. Damian Priest.
Well, convincingly enough, Cam, or coincidentally enough, I already had you listed down for Damian Priest.
Thank you.
So.
Wait, are you guys talking about Punishment Martinez?
Well,
Yes. Yes.
He's really gonna bring the punishment to
Cameron Grimes.
Cameron Grimes.
So do I list you down for a Damian Priest prediction?
Yeah.
All right. I think I'm gonna go with Damian as well.
Yeah, I think so as well.
I mean, I don't really know Cameron Grimes, so I can't really have an opinion on him. So
I've seen a few of his matches when they were doing. He was in some tournament they were having. It might have been, was it the Cruiserweight tournament or something else?
yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't remember what the tournament was though.
It was like a number one contender tournament.
It was the new coming tournament.
Yeah,
Well, like a bunch of these guys came in and
oh
like
right, wasn't that like the when worlds collide kind of thing?
No, this was when like they had like 6 new NXT superstars, and they all came from different independent scenes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they all changed their names to be the new up and coming NXT stars.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're all going with Damian Priest for that match. Then we have Mia Yim versus Candice LeRae in a street fight.
Candice.
I know I picked Mia last time, but I think I'm gonna go Candice this time.
I'm gonna go Mia.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Mia.
Okay, so a house divided. I think this is the first time we had like an even split of like. Yeah, this is the first time where like we were evenly split for predictions. Interesting. So then we have Mercedes Martinez versus a mystery opponent. Like she's in action, but we don't know who the opponent is.
Can I just put in 2 cents here and say that NXT is copying AEW here?
I mean,
Yeah, because isn't that?
That's what Nyla Rose is doing tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, we can go on and on about how WWE is copying AEW's source material. I mean, and we'll talk about this later. Eye for an eye, you know. But we will save that for later. I guess I'm gonna go Mercedes. I don't really know who the opponent is, so I can't.
I'm gonna go with the question mark. What if it's Tessa Blanchard?
That would be interesting.
I'm gonna go Jabu.
Whoa.
Cam's going with the mystery opponent as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go mystery opponent.
You guys are fools, but okay. Free point for Noah.
When you are forced to compliment us, it will be you that is the fool.
All right. So, we've come to the main event. And certain spoilers may influence our decisions here. Adam Cole versus Keith Lee, winner take all, NXT and NXT North American Championship title on the line. Bask in his glory.
Keith Lee.
I mean, all evidence points to Keith Lee.
I wanted Keith Lee in the first place, so I mean,
me
the
too.
spoiler wouldn't have really affected my.
Yeah.
prediction.
I think it makes more sense, honestly, for Adam Cole to win, though.
We don't know, so.
And because basically, I kind of want Keith Lee on the main roster, even though he would just end up in VP's new like stable that he's building, probably. But yeah, Keith Lee, are they going to call this the NXT Undisputed Champion?
Oh my god, if they do, I'm bullet to the brain.
I'll be done. Yeah.
I feel like if you have a champion versus champion match and you have 2 championships, I feel like you should have to defend, twice in one night, kind of thing.
Didn't Seth do that?
Pay-per-view, yeah, he did that with the United States and World Championship.
He did that. Becky did that.
She was Becky 2 belts.
Oh yeah, she had
Becky
the Raw
Book.
and SmackDown.
Yeah, so I feel like that might be the case with Keith Lee, and he could because he's an absolute monster. You know, like he's a unit.
Yeah.
So Cam and Eric, you have yet to give your input.
Keith Lee.
Keith Lee.
Okay, we're all unanimously going with the limitless Keith Lee.
How disappointed are we going to be when Adam Cole?
I think I'll be outraged.
It's time. I mean, Adam had a good run, but like
He's had it for over a year. You know, like
I think it reached over 400 days, right?
almost.
I thought they announced it on like Instagram the other day. He was like champion for over 400 days.
That might be it. All right, so that is it for Great American Bash, and now we will move on to Fyter Fest Night 2. We'll get this out of the way. It's Nyla Rose versus, I don't know, she's in action. I'm gonna go with the Native Beast.
what if it's Tessa Blanchard?
Shut
I
up.
already said that.
Every mystery opponent can't be Tessa Blanchard.
What if she's on both shows like Lex Luger was that one time?
Oh, and Rick Rude.
I mean,
Yeah.
they were both
Shows.
tapings. They're both not. They're not
Yeah.
live, so it's
Yeah.
it's technically possible. We could have had different taping days. I guess you can't discount it, but I doubt that WWE would let that happen.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
Nyla
I mean,
Rose.
it could happen, but it is in all likelihood.
It's very unlikely that that'll happen.
All
I
right,
honestly
so-
can't think of any other woman wrestler that would be like a crazy surprise.
Abaddon.
I was just thinking Abaddon versus Nyla would be super sweet.
That'd be a good match.
All right, so Eric, Nate, who you got?
Nyla.
All right, Nyla. Eric.
I am once again going mystery opponent.
All right. It will be you that are kissing.
Sometimes
her
I
feet.
like spinning the wheel of fate.
All right. So next match, we've got Lance Archer versus Joey Janela. I don't think we need to spend too much time here, do we?
Lance.
Lance.
Yeah, Lance.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it's not like a hardcore like no rules match.
Well,
I
you
bet
know,
it
Joey's
will
trying to
be.
get rid of, trying to step away from that.
Yeah, I guess so.
It could be Falls Count Anywhere. I would like that,
Yeah.
considering how Lance Archer on night 1 had a brawl.
Yeah.
Joey before, I don't know what match, probably the tag team match. Alright, so next match we've got SCU, SoCal Uncensored versus Dark Order and Colt Cabana. Now when I saw the actual official image for this match, it didn't say Dark Order and Colt Cabana, it just said Dark Order. So what's that about, huh?
I
Well, I
think
think it was part of the agreement that he had Colt sign on that contract, the week before Fyter Fest,
Mhm.
that he's considered a part of Dark Order for the next 2 weeks or something. I don't know, but I'm going Dark Order in this.
Colt actually
Yeah.
tweeted Dark Order and Colt Cabana. He retweeted the image and put a little asterisk and said Dark Order and Colt Cabana. So I think it's they're just playing up him joining or not joining.
I'm going SCU on this one.
I'm going Dark Order. I think Colt is on his way to joining the Dark Order, and that starts with them beating SCU.
See, here's I think it ends.
See, I can see
On
SCU
Fyter Fest.
imploding. I can see SCU imploding on Fyter Fest, have Scorpio Sky do his singles run, and then Daniels and Kaz turning on. That would be.
Well, they already said that Daniels and Frankie are gonna focus on the tag team, and Sky's gonna focus on.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna be
Singles
the end of their
competition.
friendship or anything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
don't
can
think they'll do that.
It's like what the Elite's doing. They're kind of separate in a way, but
Yeah. Excalibur said the other night, I think it was either on Dark or on Fyter Fest, that Daniels and Frankie are going to be the tag team, and Sky is going to be a singles competitor from now on. And that's why Sky has new music.
Yep. Eric, who you got?
Dark Order, I think.
All right, Dark Order. I am alone here. I'm thinking that SCU is going to pick up the victory. Okay.
So you don't see Colt joining the Dark Order?
I don't. I really don't.
So you think this is all just kind of like a tease?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, him feuding with Brody would be as cool as him joining, I think. So
Yeah.
I'm fine with either one.
Yeah, I'd be happy either way.
Okay. So next match we've got Kenny Omega and Hangman Page versus Private Party for the tag championships. Yeah. Kenny Omega and Hangman Page are defending their tag championships again against Private Party, who won last week.
Yeah.
I think Kenny and Hangman.
Alright, Kenny and Hangman for Nate.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. I just don't see them losing after them beating Best Friends last week when Best Friends had more of a claim to the titles than Private Party does.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's Kenny and Hangman. I'd like to be pleasantly surprised, but
I think we'll see some more like tension though growing between the two of them.
do you think Matt Hardy will be at ringside, kind of like going in between gimmicks for for Kenny and Hangman, and then Private Party?
That would be
says-
interesting.
It says with Matt Hardy on here though.
I think it would be interesting if he switched throughout the match. Okay, Cam, who do you think?
I'm gonna go Hangman and Page.
All right, so we're all unanimous.
I meant
We
Hangman.
Did you say Hangman and
Yeah.
Page?
Hangman and Page. So, I think. Okay, yeah. Next is Orange Cassidy versus Chris Jericho.
Orange Cassidy, man.
You're going with the OJ, the orange juice,
Freshly
freshly
squeezed.
Orange
I
Cassidy.
want him to win so badly.
I'm saying he doesn't. I'm going Chris Jericho.
See, I'm gonna go Jericho in this. Then I think later on down the road I could see Jericho, but just not.
Okay, Cam appeared to have a stroke.
Yeah.
Can
I don't know what he said.
you hear me now?
It wasn't a matter
Yeah.
of hearing you. It was a matter of like. It was. I don't know what happened.
What was an issue? Okay. Did you get my pick?
Yeah, you said Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Eric.
I'm going to go Orange Cassidy.
All right.
I got to.
All right, even split for this match as well. All right. So, and also, apparently, according to Wrestling Observer Live, I was listening to it this morning, from what Brian Alvarez was saying, is that Cody will defend the TNT title in like kind of like an open challenge.
Brian
Dang,
Pillman
that's
Jr.
It would make sense. I mean, yeah.
Go against another mystery opponent.
Yeah.
Tessa Blanchard.
I'm not putting this one on
Well,
like, the
there is a
points.
precedent for it.
What?
For Tessa Blanchard.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, she was the
could.
Impact champion. Why can't she be the TNT champion?
I mean,
She could.
valid, but I'm not putting this on like the point system. I'm
Yeah.
not putting this on like the prediction chart because for one,
It's
I'm
not.
not sure it's confirmed. For two, I don't know. I don't feel comfortable putting it on the card.
Okay, well, regardless, I am going for the mystery opponent.
That is true. But Cody will not lose it for a long
Yeah,
time.
Cody's
so-
Cody's not losing that TNT title until like a major pay-per-view probably.
Yeah, I think so. All right, well, that does it for predictions.
Oh no, you didn't
no?
do FTR and the Bucks.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
That's the main. That's probably the main
That's
event.
probably the main
about
event.
that.
Oh my goodness, I didn't even have it on here. Oh,
Wow.
Did it not have it on the card I looked? Oh, mother. Come on. Okay, yeah, it was not on the card that I looked at. My B. So yeah, we've got the Bucks and FTR versus Butcher and the Blade with the Lucha Bros.
I mean, it's FTR and the Bucks.
It's got to be FTR and the Bucks, right?
They can't. They're building them as the two best tag teams in AEW. They're not gonna. They can't lose.
All right.
I think it's too early for FTR to lose.
I Lucha Bros. I'm going Lucha Bros.
Okay, BBLB for Cam. All right, Eric, you're saying FTR and the Bucks?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, sorry about that. I totally forgot. It wasn't on this card that I was looking at. How could they have? What a fatal misstep. Okay, now I believe we are all in order now. So, we will take a short break, and right after that break, we're going to dive into the main topic of stupid, ridiculous stipulation and gimmick matches throughout wrestling. So, you don't want to miss it, so stick around. Welcome back to the HarshBros Show. We are entering the main segment of the podcast. We are talking about stupid, ridiculous stipulation and gimmick matches throughout wrestling history. So what brought this up for us was the Eye for an Eye match going into Extreme Rules 2020 for WWE, in which Seth Rollins and Rey Mysterio must try to blind one another in a match that just the stipulation doesn't make sense for the kind of people that are in the match, because you know that Seth Rollins isn't gonna go out of this blind. You want him to wear an eye patch for like the rest of his career. And you know Ray's contract's up. He's working without a contract. I don't know. This is ridiculous. It's just stupid.
Like, why not just do like a loser leaves town match?
Right.
Like, just to make it like the eye for an eye thing just doesn't make any sense.
No, because if that's what we're going with here, is that you're expecting one of these two to blind the other. We already had that. We had that in AEW when it was Jon Moxley and Santana, in which Jon Moxley, stabbed Santana in the eye with his car keys.
Well, and that stemmed from what Jericho used, like an ice pick or something.
He used one of his jacket's spikes.
Yeah, that's it. And then
stabbed him in the eye. And that is how you get the eye for an eye match kind of organically. Jericho pokes the eye of Jon Moxley. Moxley wants to poke the eye of one of his inner circle members and goes for Santana and just gets him in the eye. And it's like, okay, eye for an eye. It's like, whatever.
So, did you say that Mysterio's contract's up?
He didn't sign into a new one.
yeah,
So-
he's currently not under contract. He's wrestling.
So, you're going to have Rollins blind Mysterio in the other eye, so now he's going to have a full mask on his face. He won't be able to blink at all, and it'd just be a full-on mask. That makes sense.
What are you talking about?
What?
Yeah, so, like, when you see Mysterio when he's got that patch with his mask, if you look, so now, so it's eye for an eye match, so now he's going to have
that's
another
just a
patch
character
on his...
thing.
Huh?
I think that's just a character thing.
No, like, do you remember what happened to Mysterio in the beginning of all this rivalry stuff?
No, not even in the slightest.
They put Mysterio's face on the steel step, and they basically, quote-unquote, gouged his eye out on the steel step. Well, okay, so now it's an eye for an eye match. So what, you gonna have Mysterio be blind now?
So wait a second.
I mean, that's how you gonna have the man leave the company? Like, to me, that's just kind of a crappy way to go if that's what
Completely
it's gonna be the end.
blinded.
I mean, like,
Got his
I
ass
don't
kicked.
want either of them to lose. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, this match does not need to happen this way.
Yeah.
Well, so, like, I don't think it's a bad match, but I feel like it's just one of those things that like WWE's kind of in this phase right now where they're just kind of chucking out matches with weird sounding names and weird stipulations, and it's like it could just be a regular match, just have them wrestle, and I'm sure it'd turn
What
out
they're
fine.
going for at this
But-
point is like Vince McMahon's like thinking, "Oh, we need shock value. That'll bring more viewers." You know, like that's what he's thinking. You know, if you have like weird stipulations, it's in it for like the shock factor. Like that's why it's like this the horror show, Extreme Rules. You know, like Vince is backpedaling in a way, in which it's like, well, we need to throw in all these crazy matches so that way we can draw as many viewers as we can, just because of intrigue alone.
Yeah, and like, I think if the end goal is like Rey Mysterio's no longer wrestling with us, then it should just be like loser leaves town, like career versus career, or like career versus something.
Right,
Other
it's
than like, rather than like, I'm gonna like the loser gets stabbed in the eye.
career
like-
versus I, man.
Yeah, I don't have any interest in that match at all.
Not even. I don't have
Um,
any interest in Extreme Rules.
I am interested in the swamp fight.
Ugh.
Shoot me.
We have too many cinematic matches right now.
Well, they're like, oh, Boneyard worked.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't
that's-
think I liked
I-
most of their cinematic matches.
I ripped on the Boneyard match so much leading up to the actual Boneyard match,
Yeah.
and then it blew me away. So I'm like, I'm all in it for the swamp fight.
Okay, but the last time they had a cinematic match, it was what? Street Profits
NXT.
and
I have
Viking
not
Raiders?
seen that. I have
It
not
was
seen that.
NXT in your house, I think.
But that wasn't an entertaining match.
No, okay, and you said something about NXT in your house.
Yeah, so it was. I think it was the
Oh,
Velveteen Dream and Adam Cole.
the parking lot.
Oh yeah,
brawl.
that was a disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a snooze fest.
Yeah, that was really boring. But swamp fight.
Granted that granted that the Street Profits and Viking Raiders was just a goof. Like,
Yeah, that was more on like the ridiculous kind of goofy side of things rather than like the cool cinematic kind of things. I mean, you had like Ivar, the big one of the Viking Raiders, literally used some like Star Wars force powers on his turkey leg.
he literally did like the scene when it was like I think it was from I think Empire Strikes Back, where like Luke was hanging from like the ceiling in the cave, and he like was like grabbing the lightsaber with the force like in the
Yeah.
snow mound or whatever. But he did that
And
with the
instead of
turkey
a
leg.
lightsaber, it was his turkey leg.
Right.
Speaking of lightsabers, did you guys know there was a lightsaber on a pole match in WCW in the early 2000s?
Of course there was. Why?
I mean, why wouldn't there be?
Yeah, like
I mean, that was during the time where Phantom Menace and like the
Yeah.
prequels are coming out.
yeah.
I can believe it.
Vince Russo probably went and saw Phantom Menace opening night and was like,
This
"Hey,
is such
here's
good
an
shit."
idea.
Why don't
let's-
we take this and put it on a pole?
Lightsaber
Vince
on the
Russo
pole.
had the worst ideas with pole matches. I don't know what it was about him and poles.
I
but
think
he just loved the idea.
anything on a pole match is a bad idea.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we've organically segued into this.
Thank you.
Well, not organically. Cam really drove it in there and forced it. But,
Yeah,
that's okay.
That's
I guess we'll
always
talk
been-
about this now.
it's always been talking about for the last 7 hours is
Something on a pole. Vince
something
Russo,
on a
WCW.
pole match.
That's-
Yeah,
I think his mind's stuck on a temporal loop, and he's like, "It's Vince Russo, WCW."
I'm not a big Russo fan, and I just never have been. And
well, you and Jim
that's all.
Cornette should get together and discuss your hatred for the man.
We
All
could probably
right.
have some great
So
things,
yeah,
but
we
Joey,
have a
Joey
whole
Janela.
slew of a whole plethora of something on a poll matches, so we can just kind of bust those out real quick. So I think we should save what I think is the weirdest
Should we
one for
discuss
last.
Cam's favorite one?
I think we should save that one.
Cam was really excited to talk about that.
I was.
No
I was like,
pun
I
intended.
remember this.
No,
No
we're not.
pun
Well, we're gonna
intended.
talk about it, but like save that for like the last poll on a match or poll on a match, whatever. You know,
Yeah,
poll on a match.
they should have. I want a poll
blundered.
on a poll match.
Those Singapore polls, yeah.
Pole
Well, I
on a
mean,
pole
isn't a
match.
lightsaber just a fancy pole in a way?
No, not really.
All right. Well, I guess we're just gonna move on from that. The crickets have decided.
Oh wow, WWE.com has a 10 strangest pole matches of all time.
That's fantastic.
All right. Yeah. Read some of those.
Okay.
for us.
Their website's kind of alright.
Website's really bad.
So we have the pinata on a pole match. Looks like is the first one they have on here.
And who was in that? Who's in that?
It looks like, is that Psychosis? I can't. No, that looks like Hoovy. I think it's Juventud Guerrera. Their website is like not fully loading for me for some reason.
WWE's website just kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Oh,
But yes.
I guess like one of the most recent ones to WWE memory was when Jason Jordan faced Elias for a guitar on a pole match.
That was a thing.
Yeah, I guess so.
Wow.
November 2017. Was a guitar on a pole match.
We got Judy Bagwell on a forklift.
The best one.
That I'm just imagining like the creative meeting where they're like, you know what? Here's the idea for the match, and like and like a group of people all agreeing that was a good idea.
And I know Russo was behind us. Can you imagine Cornette being in the room with that match? Where they're like, okay, we're just going to put Judy Bagwell on a forklift, and we're just going to have them fight to take over the forklift and bring down Judy. Like, I bet Cornette would have had, like, an aneurysm. He would have been like, what is this?
I mean, to be fair, he probably has an
What is-
aneurysm.
what is that
over, like,
about-
85% of pro wrestling?
What am I seeing here about Yoshitatsu versus Tyson Kidd? About the leg broken off of his action figure? What?
Yeah, I just scrolled over to that one.
What the hell?
I don't remember that one.
I don't
That
remember
looks like
that.
on a, is that an
It was an NXT.
is that an
episode.
yeah? That's an NXT ring.
So
The
either that
the
would've been
San
that or-
Francisco 49er match. I was wanting to see footage of this, or like see photos at least, because that just seems so ridiculous, and it is. I mean, it's clearly ridiculous.
Enlighten people. No, do you know anything about it? Like, I know you're talking a little bit about it.
The San Francisco 49er match.
Yeah, like,
So
what was
I
it about
don't
again?
even know why it's called the San Francisco 49ers match, because it has nothing to do with the football team I see or like the actual like 49ers, like the Gold Rush kind of thing. It makes no sense. Cuz the stipulation is that there are 4 wooden boxes on, like, you know, there's a wooden box on each pole for each corner of the ring. And one of the boxes has the WCW World Heavyweight Championship in it. And this was a match between Booker T and Jeff Jarrett. And it featured weapons in some of them, including a blow-up doll, which WWE has conveniently omitted from the pictures. I think it was a framed photo of Scott Hall and a glove. But then one of them did have the WCW World Heavyweight Championship in one of the wooden boxes, and Booker T claimed that, I guess.
That just seems like a stupid concept. It's like there's so much going on in that, and it just I don't know. And I think maybe I don't know if it was a time that maybe the 49ers were like playoff contenders and they were like won the Super Bowl. I don't remember.
No,
But-
because it was the late '90s. Like it was
Oh,
like '99 or 2000.
Like I have no idea. Was it in the venue that they were at?
Maybe.
Because it didn't say.
It doesn't look like a football stadium
No, it
from
does
the
not.
pictures
No.
of.
So I have no idea. I have no idea why it's called the San Francisco 49ers.
We have a Divas Division mistletoe on a pole match.
I think I remember
Yeah.
that from my
This
youth.
looks just like something they did for like a Christmas themed
Yeah.
show. Rather than giving their employees the night off, they decided to have a bad wrestling show with weird gimmicks like
Yikes.
the mistletoe on a pole.
But they had the pink slip on a pole match between Mankind and
Rock,
The Rock.
yeah, Mankind and Rock.
Whoever lost got fired. It's like at that point, that's just a career versus career match. Like, come on.
Yeah. The
WCW.
Calgary Kid versus Eugene in a contract on a pole match.
You know who the Calgary Kid was?
Was it Miz?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Miz.
Is the Calgary Kid.
The Calgary
Yeah.
Kid.
Is he even Canadian?
No.
I think they were in. Maybe they weren't though. Maybe they were in Calgary at the time. And
They were in Calgary.
Yeah, and the kid won, and everyone was cheering for him, and the Miz took the mask off, and everyone just like completely.
Oh, they just
booed him.
booed. They booed the hell out of him.
Horrible match. Tank Abbott and someone named Big Al had a leather jacket on a pole match.
Tank Abbott.
Okay, I think we're going on a little bit of a tangent here with just a bunch of different pole matches. We need to talk about the granddaddy of them all.
Yes.
The Viagra on a pole.
Viagra on a pole match.
Cam,
That match.
you wanna talk about
fantastic.
that for us?
Well, so I remember watching something of it when, I don't know if it was when I was a kid watching it with my grandma or something along those
Wait,
lines.
what?
Yeah. Yeah, because my
Make
grandma.
your
had
grandma
a-
and grandmas.
You made your grandma watch WCW?
Yeah, we would always watch WWF and WCW growing up, and
Yeah,
we
we
would
did.
get engaged in her room. And I remember watching this. I think either with her or something, maybe later on down the road. But I remember watching with somebody, and I was just like, "What is this?" And they were trying to explain to me, and they just kind of did the girl run around like, "Oh, they're fighting for pills, for medicine." I'm like, "Oh, okay," but like.
Well, that's good of them. You know, like whoever wins gets some ibuprofen. That's nice.
It was between Billy Kidman and Shane Douglas, and oh my god, it was with Toy Wilson because apparently Billy Kidman and Toy were having some real life issues with the marriage, and Shane Douglas was in a real life beef with Billy Kidman. So I don't know if this was Vince Russo's idea, but I'm just gonna say it. I bet it was Vince's
We're just
idea.
gonna
'cause he's
say
like,
that it is.
oh.
God damn, we got.
Yeah, so they just put that into a storyline and put a Viagra on a pole match.
So on this says Kidman accused Douglas of using Viagra, which led to the bottle of the male enhancement pills being placed on a pole. Both men tried to force the other to use the Viagra after Kidman grabbed it. Douglas eventually won the match with a pin, thanks to a distraction from Tori. Isn't the victory of a pole match when you grab said object from the pole?
Typically, but like in some cases, like the pink slip on a pole match, it was like the other person, like the loser, got fired.
Yeah.
So I guess
Which
I don't
in
know.
that case, it's just like a ladder match, but you're climbing up a pole instead of a ladder.
Right, and at that point, it's like no, it's just on like you're just climbing the turnbuckle. I mean, everyone climbs the turnbuckle.
Yeah.
I think
So I
on
think
pole
it's-
matches in wrestling are just really stupid.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say this is a very, very bad gimmick that I hope we never have to sit through ever again.
Oh, we will. I mean, we
Yeah.
eventually.
In a couple more years, we'll have to sit through it.
Until Vince McMahon croaks, I think we'll have to suffer. And even then, they'll put
anyways.
Vince McMahon's head in like cryostasis.
Like Walt Disney.
Yeah, and then like the Futurama shit, and it's like in like the year like 3000, we'll have Vince McMahon dictating WWE still.
All right,
Those are
some
such
other
good
weird
shit.
matches. There was a dog poo match in WWF between Davey Boy Smith and The Rock, in which the winner of the match had to drive their opponent into a tray of dog poo.
Excellent.
Interesting.
Like,
That sounds like a shitty match. Am I right?
oh,
Oh, I'm
there
going
he
to insert
comes.
some fake applause so that way I feel better about myself.
Cue the laugh track on that one.
Yeah.
We also have
So okay, can I get a little bit of background on this match? Like,
On the
was
dog-
this
on the-
just a feud where they were just like, "I'm gonna shove you in dog poo," and
it
The Rock
was-
was like, "No, I'm gonna shove you in dog poo," and they had a match?
In the-
Like, is there like a reason for it?
in the synopsis here it says that Davey Boy Smith returned to the WWF and was engaged in a brief feud with The Rock. At this time, The Rock was partnered with Mankind as the Rock and Sock Connection. On an episode of Raw, the Bulldog was challenged to a dog poo match by The Rock, where Mankind brought a tray full of dog poo to the ring, and the winner drove their opponent into the tray of poo, which was The Rock drove Davey Boy into the poo. That's all I have on that match. I don't recall. I would have been 9 years old when that match took place, and I don't really remember it. I'm glad I don't remember it because I feel like I would have quit watching wrestling at that point.
So The Rock was just like, "Mankind, bring it out," and Mankind just brought out a tray of shit.
I mean, I guess The Rock challenged him to the dog poo match. I don't know if there was something. I don't know if it's like a British bulldog joke. Like, I don't know. I really don't know.
I mean, I have more questions than anything at this point. But
Okay.
I mean,
so,
we might be able to look up that classic episode of Raw on the WWE Network.
speaking
Not
of like
to plug the
weird-
network.
weird matches, I mean like hog pen matches. Like the hog pen match was in was at Extreme Rules. Coincidentally enough, 2009,
That's pretty extreme.
between Vicky Guerrero and the lovely Santina Marella.
Wow.
okay.
So that was a thing, huh?
Apparently, there was one back in the mid '90s between Henry O'Godwin and a young a blue blood Hunter Hearst Helmsley, where you win by tossing your opponent into a hog pen set up outside of the ring.
Oh, so this list
That
is
was
from
at In Your House
2012.
'95. What else do we have here?
Oh yeah, can we talk about how like for some reason in like the late 2010s that WWE just had like this really huge obsession with shark cages?
And like putting people in them above the ring while the match was going on.
Right, like I can't remember what the first match of that was, but I guess it had to do with Paul Ellering because like I can't remember because what brought it back, was it like the AOP versus whoever was feuding with them at the time?
I think so.
I don't know. Like they used to do those like back in like 1980s, like WCW. Like if there was like a manager or someone that would like always get involved in the matches, like they would like put them in the cage, yeah, above the ring. So like I do like vaguely recall that. I feel like I remember like Jericho being in one.
I
Yeah, it was
remember
Jericho was in one.
James
for
Ellsworth.
Enzo. I think Enzo was in one of them.
Oh, that's right.
Um,
Yeah, I think Enzo was in one of them. Man, yeah, that's more than I thought in recent memory. Because you had Paul Ellering, you had Enzo Amore, I think, Chris Jericho, I think. Was James Ellsworth in one? I could have sworn that James Ellsworth was in one when Carmella was feuding with someone.
I thought so.
I think it was him and Oscar, I think.
Yeah, I could have sworn like it was like Asuka versus Carmella, and James Ellsworth was like in the shark cage, but then he somehow got out. Like, cause that's when I think Corey Graves was like, James Ellsworth is the master locksmith.
I hope that was a. I hope that was a call.
I vaguely remember that.
I think that's it. I think that was. But man, there was a lot of shark cage matches in recent memory.
There is a 53. There's a 53 photo album, 53 picture photo album on WWE.com of superstars and managers locked in cages.
Oh my god.
Here's one. There's one of Triple H being put in one with Big Show and Mankind wrestling at SmackDown. Here's one with Jim Cornette. Jim Cornette is really selling being put in this cage. It also looks like he has a straight jacket on as well.
Whack.
Jerry Lawler's in one here. Oh, Heyman. JJ Dillon. Paul Bearer. Paul Bearer is upside down in this one.
What in the hell?
Oh wait, that might not be a real Paul Bearer. What the? Oh, it's like a doll of him or something. What? That's weird.
I don't know. It was what? It was like what? Like
No, they put him in it, though.
the early 2000s or like late 90s, where there was a weird time in wrestling.
Yeah, here's one where Owen and Triple H are wrestling, and China is in one. I'm hoping there's more recent photos on here. This is a popular thing that has been used throughout, like, wrestling history. Oh, those are all old ones. I mean, it's not that terrible of a gimmick if it's like some where it is like, you know, this person is always getting involved in the matches, so we're gonna like put them in a cage, I guess. I mean, I would rather have that than someone being put on a pole or some object being put on a pole.
Oh, Eric, you wanted to talk about it so bad. We didn't even talk about the custody match.
Oh yeah, that was my match of choice for silly gimmicks.
We didn't even talk about the match between Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero. Wasn't like the custody papers like suspended above the ring? Wasn't this a ladder match?
I think it was a ladder match.
Yeah.
What the actual? Oh my goodness.
If I remember correctly, it wasn't just like for custody. It was being billed as like whoever wins this is literally the father of Dominic.
Right. Like that was almost exactly how it was built up to be.
Yeah, I mean that's like the winner basically got Dominique as their child. Like what?
I mean, they could have just made it the Dominic on a pole match.
I mean,
Dominic on a pole match.
Yes.
That's kind of what it was. I mean,
basically, yeah. That's.
I think it would have been more entertaining if, like, if Dominic was just kind of sitting there on a pole, you know, like in like a deer stand.
What if they would have put him in a shark cage and then put him on a pole,
yeah.
and then on the other side of the ring, there's a pole with a key to the shark cage, so you have to climb up the first pole to get the key, then you have to climb up the second pole to the shark cage and get Dominique out of the shark cage.
Somewhere,
That's what
Vince McMahon is having a nice rest, and then he hears this through the ether, and he's like, "That's such good shit. Why didn't I think of that?" And so he's changing.
That's what they're gonna do.
He's changing the match.
They're gonna put
Dominique
in it
and a shark cage.
They're like, he's a grown man. Like you can't have custody of a grown man. He's like, God damn it, I can do whatever I want.
We're approaching at the end of our allotted time. I wanna close this with the with two matches. Let's talk first. Let's just quickly go over the evening gown match that was at King of the Ring 2000 between Gerald Briscoe and Pat Patterson. Now, this isn't your typical match. This was for the Hardcore Championship. So, the belt that was getting absolutely dragged through the mud, just completely buried. I mean, the whole concept of it was ridiculous to begin with, but
it doesn't get more hardcore than two pro wrestling legends in their 50s or 60s in women's evening wear.
Oh yeah,
just just destroying whatever legacy that they once had as
so hardcore
pro wrestlers.
And none of them even walked away with the hardcore title. So the title was up for grabs. And if none of you know about the history of or the Hardcore Championship, what it was, it's basically like the like the early 2000s version of the 24/7 Championship. It's basically they're the exact same thing. The belt could be defended at any time, anywhere, and that was really it.
And it was like a broken up,
it was a
shattered version of the late 80s through the 90s WWF title.
Right, yeah.
Like the
and
wing,
it was all taped together.
Yeah, like the tape said hardcore champion on it.
Right.
And it just became more and more just destroyed as the years went by because the belt really didn't mean anything.
Right, so I think Crash walked away with the championship, and I don't know, soon the Hardcore Championship just ceased to exist. That was a really ridiculous match, and I think it was just damaging for everyone involved. So
yeah, and I think it might have been a snide homophobic rib on Pat Patterson. Right. I'm assuming for some reason.
That's disgusting, but it's the early.
Yeah.
It's like 2000. We're not as progressive as we are now.
Yeah, I vaguely recall JR making weird snide comments about Pat Patterson through the years. I think it was a common theme at the time for whatever.
So we're gonna end on a very light note here, which we just discovered this today during the break because we were looking up for stuff to talk about, and we stumbled upon probably the greatest match name I think I've ever seen in my entire existence, which isn't very much, but the bread eating death match. This came from Union Pro in 2011, I'm pretty sure. Is that what the video said? Was it 2011?
I think so. Yeah.
2011.
Let me pull that back up.
Yeah. But so this was a match with Union Pro, and it was between it was January 3rd. No, it's March 1st, because how they do dates in Japan is the right way. So this was March 1st of 2011, and it was between Tsuyoshi Kikuchi versus Ken Oka. I don't know any of them, but this match was... I don't understand. I still don't really... the author of this article that we were looking at all these matches doesn't even know the stipulation or how it works. But from what I've gathered, with the most minute amount of Japanese language learning is, I think there was a certain amount of like allotted time, and you had to eat the most bread while also wrestling. Like I think before the match was over, before the finish, you had to eat the most amount of bread, and I think it was decided by judges watching the match, because there's no way that you're just gonna know who ate the most bread. You know, like, like I don't even know why this match came out to be. I have no idea why this existed, but damn if it's not entertaining. And I encourage you, right after this video, to go watch the bread eating death match from Union Pro. It's just mystical. It's not that funny, at least in our culture. It's not like super hilarious.
The crowd
it's not
seems
beautiful,
to be,
you know.
The crowd seems to be getting a huge kick out of it.
And if the crowd's behind it, then you know it's working at least.
Yes.
So it gives you a sense of like, well, this is a match and it's funny. So I guess I'll laugh along with the audience at that point. But I think it was Ken Oka from what I'm seeing here. I can't really read Japanese, but I think it says next to Ken Oka's name it says 2.5, and then next to Tsuyoshi Kikuchi's name it says 1.5. And it gives, like, I think it gives Ken the victory, but I still don't know what it means.
Yeah, what are the numbers on
The numbers, Mason. What do they mean? Like 2.5 bread. I think that's what you said, Nate, during the break. 2.5 bread.
And just searching it and trying to find just written out rules for the match, there's nothing that puts any sort of explanation on the match.
I don't think it has to make sense, but damn, if it's not just one of the, I think this should be the 10th wonder of the world. The bread eating death match from Union Pro. But I think that about wraps up our discussion about just weird. Oh, whoa. Hey, Cam. What was going on there? Anywho, I think that wraps up our discussion about just plain, stupid, ridiculous stipulation and gimmick matches throughout wrestling. Thank you for listening. We'll hope that you join us next time. This has been the HarshBros Show. Thanks for listening.